money is more than paper, metal, or numbers on a screen. It is a manifested belief, an agreement so deeply entrenched in human consciousness that most forget it's invented. Our lives orbit it. We work for it, trade with it, save it, fear losing it, and envy those who have more of it. But what if we never needed it in the first place? This video isn't just a philosophical exercise. It's an invitation to imagine. Imagine waking up in a world where money has vanished, not due to collapse, but evolution. What would fall apart? What might finally fall into place? Initially, money solved the fundamental problem of barter, the coincidence of wants. Without money, early humans faced the difficulty of trading directly. If a fisherman needed shoes, he had to find a shoemaker who wanted fish. Money simplified this by allowing indirect exchanges. Yet, it also evolved beyond mere convenience, morphing into a measure of personal value, success, and status. But imagine waking up tomorrow to a world where money is obsolete, not due to catastrophe, but due to collective realization that it's no longer necessary. Earth, after all, is abundant in resources. Nature generously offers food, water, minerals, and energy, more than enough for all. Without money, the perception of scarcity might vanish, revealing a world of genuine abundance. In such a scenario, motivation shifts from accumulation to contribution. Imagine a luxury yacht maker. Would they cease crafting yachts if there was no monetary compensation? Perhaps, but more likely, they might continue their trade out of passion and pride, free from economic constraints. Quality and innovation could flourish, unhindered by cost-cutting or profit margins. Craftsmanship could reach unparalleled heights as creators strive purely for excellence and artistry. The fast food chain, now unbound from the imperative of profit, might transform dramatically. Instead of cheap processed ingredients aimed at maximizing profit margins, they could focus on nutrition, quality, and sustainability. Workers, liberated from wage-driven drudgery, might engage passionately in food sourcing and preparation, elevating the culinary experience and nourishing communities genuinely. Without money, societal roles would reorganize fundamentally. The concept of work itself would evolve. Jobs solely based on financial survival might disappear, while tasks meaningful to human welfare and fulfillment could thrive. Education, medicine, art, science, all might flourish as individuals pursue vocations driven by intrinsic rewards like creativity, compassion, curiosity, and service to others. Moreover, the very nature of human relationships could change profoundly. Without financial dependence, communities would likely re-engage in collective support systems. Trust, cooperation, and interdependence might replace competition and individualism. Families, neighborhoods, and cities could become tightly knit, resilient networks. This scenario raises practical concerns. Without financial incentives, would critical but less glamorous jobs like garbage collection, sewage maintenance, and infrastructure repair still attract volunteers? Potentially yes, if societal culture shifts toward recognizing and appreciating the intrinsic value and dignity of all forms of labor. Communities could organize rotational systems or technology-based solutions to handle essential but undesirable tasks, spreading responsibility equitably. Technology, indeed, could play a crucial role. Automation and artificial intelligence, no longer threats to employment, could fully liberate humanity from monotonous tasks, enabling humans to focus on creativity, innovation, and community service. Resources previously invested in monetary systems, banking, financial markets, currency production, and accounting could redirect towards solving humanity's most pressing issues: climate change, healthcare, education, and poverty eradication. The absence of money would require profound psychological shifts. The human psyche has long been shaped by notions of scarcity, competition, and fear of deprivation. Transitioning to a mindset of abundance, generosity, and collaboration would be revolutionary but challenging. Educational systems would need reorientation toward empathy, collective responsibility, and stewardship of shared resources. Would crime diminish in a world without money? Possibly. Crimes motivated by financial gain, robbery, fraud, corruption, would lose relevance. Organized crime empires, such as drug cartels and elaborate cryptocurrency scams, thrive predominantly because of financial incentives. Drug cartels maintain power through vast monetary resources used to bribe authorities, intimidate communities, and recruit desperate individuals seeking financial security. Without the driving force of monetary profit, these cartels would lose their ability to operate effectively. The lure of quick wealth vanishes and recruitment diminishes drastically. Similarly, cryptocurrency scams that manipulate people's financial insecurities and greed would collapse overnight, losing their fundamental incentive structure. Human conflict might still arise from other issues such as jealousy, ideological differences, or personal conflicts. However, removing financial desperation could significantly downgrade jealousy to a milder form of envy. Jealousy, often driven by stark differences in wealth and status, fosters resentment and hostility. Without money creating dramatic disparities in access to essential goods, experiences, and opportunities, the intensity of jealousy subsides. People might still envy another's unique talents, relationships, or accomplishments. But without money amplifying disparities, this envy would lack the toxic, destructive power jealousy holds today. This profound shift from jealousy to envy could cultivate healthier emotional and psychological landscapes. Envy, in moderation, can inspire personal growth and healthy competition. Unlike jealousy, envy rarely fuels violence or societal breakdown. In this new context, the elimination of financially motivated jealousy could greatly reduce crimes of passion, domestic violence, and even community-wide unrest. Without monetary gain, communities could refocus on collective well-being and mutual support. Society could prioritize mental health, emotional intelligence, and personal development, fostering a more empathetic and compassionate culture. The world might indeed become a safer, more harmonious, and nurturing place for all individuals to thrive and realize their fullest potential. Imagine cities redesigned around communal well-being instead of economic growth. Housing, transportation, and public spaces might be constructed for comfort, sustainability, and social interaction rather than profit maximization. Aesthetic beauty, environmental harmony, and practical functionality could harmoniously coexist. Food systems, freed from profit constraints, might prioritize regenerative agriculture, local production, and ecological balance. Global cooperation could flourish as nations and communities recognize interconnected well-being rather than national or individual gain. Money has long hijacked our emotional circuits. Fear of lack, guilt over spending, shame from comparison, euphoria from gain. Without the need to monetize every hour, humanity begins to live in Kairos time, moments of meaning, flow, and synchronicity. A single conversation becomes more valuable than a paycheck. Freed from economic shackles, purpose finds new soil. The child who loved to draw now leads art co-ops. The tinkerer builds community energy grids. The elder shares wisdom in wisdom hubs, not behind paywalls. Spirituality surges, not in religion, but in connection. With the removal of scarcity mindsets, people begin to see the divine in service, the sacred in simplicity. Education evolves from competition to curiosity. Medicine becomes an act of service, not transaction. Politics dissolves into participatory governance, leadership without campaign finance. Critics might ask, how do we manage trade, incentives, and logistics? The answer lies in emerging technologies and ancient wisdom. Blockchain without coins can track contributions and resources. AI logistics can distribute food, medicine, and tools equitably. Quantum computing can model resource flow and prevent waste. Local councils inspired by indigenous traditions can mediate conflicts and allocate roles. Instead of central banks, we have consensus networks. Instead of shareholders, we have stakeholders. The planet, the people, the future. Some ancient civilizations, such as the Inca, operated without a money-based economy. Their systems prioritize shared labor, reciprocity, and abundance management. Potlatch cultures along the Pacific Northwest celebrated giving as a status symbol, not hoarding. Modern experiments like intentional communities and open-source movements echo these principles. We don't need to start from scratch. We need to remember. And now, the turn. What if money isn't just a tool, but a test? A veil, a spiritual firewall designed to challenge humanity's sense of separation. What if its removal isn't just practical, but metaphysical? We have long believed money to be the means to freedom. But what if freedom begins the moment we no longer need it? What if the real wealth has always been dormant within us, waiting not to be earned, but remembered? And so the question is no longer, can we live without money? The real question is, what kind of world are we too afraid to imagine?